They said New York never slept, but for Elena Ward, the city's noise only reminded her how silent her own life had become. She used to be an emergency nurse, steady hands, calm voice, the kind you trusted in chaos. Then her husband's sudden death left her with debts, an eviction notice, and a suitcase that smelled like hospital bleach. She took a night job cleaning luxury penthouses for quick cash. One of them belonged to a reclusive biotech billionaire, Dr. Marcus Vail. He was brilliant, secretive, and known for collecting art that made people uneasy. Paintings of veins, heart valves, and human eyes done in gold leaf. One night, while scrubbing his study, Elena found a locked drawer. Inside, dozens of patient photos, medical IDs, and one file stamped Prototype EV. Every face in those photos was pale, lifeless, like the people she'd lost on her shift. The next morning, Marcus cornered her. "Curiosity kills, Miss Ward," he murmured. "But maybe we can use yours." He offered her $10,000 to help him run after-hours trials. She told herself it was data entry. It wasn't. By week's end, she was smuggling refrigerated vials labeled neural tissue, living sample. She didn't ask questions until one cracked in her hands and the fluid burned through her gloves. The smell, sweet metal, stayed for days. That night she dreamed of voices whispering under her skin. When she woke, her pulse flickered in 2 rhythms. Marcus watched her closely. "You feel it, don't you?" The upgrade. She wanted to run, but she also wanted to know what he meant. Within days, her memory sharpened. She could recall every heartbeat in the ER, every code she'd ever lost. Power tasted like oxygen after drowning. Then came the first accident. A mugger in the alley tried to grab her purse. She touched his wrist. He collapsed, heart stopped, eyes wide. She hadn't hit him. She thought him dead. Then came the first accident. A mugger in the alley tried to grab her purse. She touched his wrist. He collapsed, heart stopped, eyes wide. She hadn't hit him. She'd thought him dead. Elena stared at her trembling hands. Something inside her pulsed, an echo that wasn't hers. She buried the body, told herself it was self-defense. But when she saw the headline the next morning, "Man found with missing heart tissue," she knew the experiment was still working through her. And somewhere in his glass tower, Marcus Vail smiled, whispering, "You're the proof, Elena. The perfect crime isn't the one that hides the killer. It's the one that turns her into evolution." Elena packed her bags. This time, she wasn't running from guilt. She was hunting for the truth, and maybe for the first time, she wasn't afraid to kill for it. The next nights felt unreal. Her reflection flickered as though 2 women stared back, one afraid, one awake. Marcus Vail sent a simple message: "Phase 2 begins when you're ready." She wasn't, but curiosity is a narcotic. Once tasted, it owns you. She went back. The lab was colder than she remembered. Tanks of cloudy fluid glowed like ghostly organs. "Do you feel guilt?" he asked. "I feel alive." He smiled. "Good. Because guilt is a parasite. were curing humanity of it. That night, he showed her a live subject, an old prisoner bought off a private contract. "Traitors to progress," Marcus said.
Elena trembled.
Then she saw the man's eyes, pleading, human, and for a second her heart stuttered. The pulse inside her answered, a second rhythm blooming like fire. The man convulsed, fell still. Marcus clapped softly. Perfect synchronization. But when she touched her own chest, she felt his heartbeat thudding. Days later, strange things began happening around her. Electronic monitors blinked near her presence. Street lamps dimmed when she passed. She wasn't just carrying the experiment. She was amplifying it. Her dreams changed. She saw faces of the dead, whispering coordinates. Warehouses, docks, abandoned hospitals. She followed one vision to Brooklyn Pier 14 and found containers filled with frozen bodies, each tagged with Veil Biotech. She realized Marcus wasn't curing humanity. He was collecting it. When she confronted him, he only said, "Every evolution needs casualties." She decided then, he'd built a monster, and it would devour him first. Elena began gathering evidence, but she couldn't trust the police. Vale funded their precinct. So she went underground, literally. In an abandoned subway tunnel, she met Laura Chen, a hacktivist once arrested for data leaks. Laura saw Elena's shaking hands and the glow beneath her skin and said, "Whatever you are, you're proof." Together, they planned to expose Vale, crash his data servers, leak the patient files, and broadcast the truth. But each time Elena pushed her power, she felt herself slipping, memories rewriting, emotions fading. The night of the heist, alarms screamed across the skyscraper.
Lara hacked, Elena defended.
Security guards fired, bullets bent midair. Elena walked through them like smoke. Cameras caught everything. By dawn, half the city had seen her on live stream. The woman who could stop hearts. FBI, Interpol, and every news outlet wanted her. Conspiracy theories exploded. Bioweapon, angel of death, AI experiment gone wrong. Vale denied all ties, calling her an unstable ex-employee. She vanished into the storm drains, hunted but alive. Laura begged her to run to Canada, but Elena said, "Not yet. Not while he breathes." She tracked Vale to his private island off Maine. The mansion was built of glass, walls that reflected the ocean and her own fractured self. Inside, chambers of preserved bodies floated in nutrient gel, his archive of human potential. He welcomed her like a lover. "You came home." "This isn't home," she said. "It's a graveyard with Wi-Fi." They fought, mind against mind. Every pulse in her body synchronized with the building's electric veins. Lights burst, glass screamed, and Vale's pacemaker exploded in his chest. But when he fell, she felt the surge flood back into her. She realized killing him didn't end it. It completed her. He built the network to feed on power, and she was now the central node, Before the island burned, Elena uploaded one file, a confession mixed with Vale's secrets, to every server worldwide. She spoke calmly. I was a nurse. I tried to save lives. Then someone taught me how cheap life can be. Don't blame the weapon. Blame the hands that made it.
Million watched.
Governments panicked. Markets crashed. Yet half the world saw her as justice. Hashtags rose. Hashtag the glass veil. Years passed. Sightings surfaced. Los Angeles, Chicago, Berlin. Always after corporate scandals where CEOs mysteriously suffered heart failure.
No fingerprints. No proof.
Only a single white petal left behind, slick with frost. Lara Chin released one final message. She's not killing for revenge anymore. She's resetting the balance. Whispers spread that Elena's consciousness could travel through digital networks, the experiment living beyond flesh, in a remote clinic on the Oregon coast. A young nurse looks into a mirror and gasps as her pulse beats twice. She doesn't remember why. A faint voice hums through the monitor. Mercy makes us human. Evolution forgets mercy. The screen flickers, signature red line forming a heart, then flatlining into silence. If you think you can control creation, remember, the first miracle was disobedience. Backhand index pointing right like the story. Comment your theory and subscribe because mercy isn't over yet.